Hey, good to see you.
Color, of course, is the element that has three properties: hue, value, and intensity. In this video, I'll be covering using the Shape tool and the color picker to create a color wheel. And at the end of this video, I'll give you specific instructions on what you need to have completed before you move on to the next one. I thought we would start with this visual of a color wheel. This is kind of what you're going to be creating, but instead of this fluid circle, we're going to be creating separate shapes for the primary, the secondary, and the intermediate colors. So back to here, grab your shape tool and you can choose any shape that you want to. Just remember that if you're using the rectangle shape or the ellipse tool, you will need to hold down Alt as you drag. And if you want it to be a circle or a square, you will need to hold down Shift as well. But what we want to do is have our shapes be on that center point. So we're going to start with our primary colors first. So now that you've made this first shape, you're going to move on to the red color. So we're going to skip this line and move to the next one. So click and drag and hold Option as you intersect your shape right on that cross point. And then do the same thing for this one. The next one is going to be our secondary colors. So if you want to, you can choose a different shape. And I'm going to turn it so that I don't have quite so many points. And we're going to click and drag. And I'm going to make my shape point to the inside. And back to the selection tool and click, drag, hold down Option, let go when you see intersect. And the same thing again, click, drag, and hold down Option. And you have our first 6 shapes exactly where they need to be. So next we're going to need our intermediate colors. I'm going to use the polygon tool for the intermediate colors. And for here, just select the space in between those two and make the shape for your intermediate colors. And again, hold down Option and drag over until you intersect. If you want to, you can use your selection tool to move and adjust your shapes. Now to select your colors, I want you to go and get your swatches. If you don't have swatches, you can go to Window and find Swatches down here. And we're going to start with the yellow. This top row should have most of the colors that you need, but just click through and make all of your colors with your swatches. Moving on to the secondary colors and the intermediates. Now, if a color doesn't seem quite right, you can click on that color and double click on this tiny color picker up here in your swatches. Then you can adjust the color based on its hue. This bar right here is the hue, and that's what this H stands for right here too. So if I click and drag on that, this makes that color more red, and dragging up makes it more yellow. So this is my original color, and this is the color I'm changing it to. And if I click OK, that will change my color. And that looks like a better increment from yellow-orange to red-orange. Now I want to look at this red-orange. It does look a little too close to the red. So again, I'm going to go in and make it a bit more orange. Let's try that. And now these two colors look the same, so I'll adjust this one to look more yellow. So I'm going to adjust these two again. If you happen to double click on a shape, it will isolate the shape. So all you have to do to get out of that is to double click out of it. But basically, isolating the shape means that I can't move anything else on the page. So double click anywhere else on the page and it will get you out of that isolation mode. The oranges are kind of tricky because the transition from yellow to orange is really slight. Okay, we're going to stick with that. Okay, so now you have your completed color wheel. What we did in this video was to create the color wheel with the shape tool. You chose appropriate swatches from the color picker.